Hello. What's up, y'all? How's it hanging? With me, I'm Gucci. It's Tuesday again. The thing we're gonna do today is, continue where we left off last time, of course. One of those things was challenging another registered player. And what we already checked out last time is we can click on this dummy challenge here, end up at some URL where we can then finally or eventually, we don't have players in here yet, but it should say like player name or something here. And then you just fill some stuff in, click on challenge, and you're donesies. The stuff we have not taken into account just yet is to complete this part. So that's the thing I wanted to do today. There might be already some stuff in there that's ready, but I don't really remember what that was. If you're into Discord and you're into that kind of thing, you can follow or get that invite and get invited to the server, come hang out, do some suggestions, help fellow developers out, I guess, that are stuck with some problems. Right, I think we should try this part out. Maybe first get some players in here. I completely forgot how I did that. Wait. No, before we do anything, in fact, there is an issue because there were some... there's a registration scenario, or some kind of scenario at least. This one. And if we try to run it, it's gonna break. And the reason why it broke, I just ran these tests before I started the stream just to get my environment up and running. And apparently, the job token that we're creating has now expired, or has expired since the last time we started it. So we might need to do some other stuff to work around that fact. I also forgot completely about the beer that we're drinking today. It's this one. I might have shown it last time as well. It's called the Grimbergen Hop Karakter. And it's not bad. But yeah, it's a different beer than usual. It's not my usual Karmeliet that I'm drinking. I've got it in a duvel glass, so cheers, as these tests will fail, I think. Okay, so they work. That's weird. Then it might not have been this test that failed, huh? Okay. Maybe it's this one. Because what we were doing, we were creating one. Oh yeah. So both, it was the expiration time and another one, I think. I don't remember which one it was, but that was the part that was complaining about something like the expiry date should not be before the initialization date or something. Okay, I guess that's fine. That's very strange. So then I have no idea what happened. Let's do our little refresh. I think... No, wait. I always keep on forgetting whether or not these calls to leaderboard are... Yeah, they are unauthorized. Okay. That's probably why. So let's do a little login with Mr. Rat. And then once we are logged in... Oh, he's unknown. Yeah, because we wiped the database or something. I don't know. So let's have him join the fray. Oh, RGM is in there as well. At some point I should do like a redirect, but it's fine for now. It's also a bit weird that here we do have a rank, but RGM has no rank. Okay, and then I guess the IDs of the players have changed. Yeah, so we got there. Okay, so let's fetch an ID. And let's go to the registered players. Voila. And then we had some hard-coded stuff set up there in the challenge.elm thing. I think. No, it wasn't a button. Some kind of button. Oh yeah, by the way, I did finally upgrade to a newer version of IntelliJ, even though this one has no support for Elm, so we'll see how well that goes, but yeah. So creator of the Elm plugin of IntelliJ, if you're listening in, please update. In main.elm, is that the place where we wanted to be? Because that's where the dummy challenge is at. What's up, Newbicorn? Challenge button clicked. Yeah, here it is. Yeah, there's no. It's gonna be painful. You've got no formatting or whatsoever. I might need to switch to. Voila. Let's set you up for the scallop. Might need to I summon you because I mentioned Kotlin. Now I have no chance but to show you some Kotlin, I guess. What was the plan again? Yeah, so I thought initially that some tests were failing, but apparently they're not. They might just be flaky, in fact. That's not very fun. Yes, I will. Okay, I will show you some Kotlin. The thing I wanted to verify for sure, yeah, there's the challenge scenario is already working, in fact. Let's see what we're doing here. So we're registering a player, scallop. Wait, this is the registration scenario. The Corgi, that's like the game engine, right? I haven't checked that stuff out yet. Never made a game in Kotlin before. Voila, and has their score increased. So we create a player scallop, another player RGM, and then they challenge the other one. What does the stuff look like? You've got a challenger and an opponent, but so the thing is that we want to expand this with extra fields like next Wednesday at 8 and add me on Discord, blah blah blah. It's fine, but I don't see too many other choices. For Kotlin game engines. Yeah. I have no idea. But the JetBrains guys are supporting it completely. Ooh, I should actually also upgrade to the latest version of Kotlin because they had a new feature, fully exhausted when expressions now. Just noise. Not bad, not bad. Yeah, right. Ursina, I've never even heard of that, but Unreal or like Unity I have, of course. I did create with some other people a game in in Elm, it might actually. Where will I have put that stuff? Yeah, I don't remember what the exact repository name was. Well, let's look it up. Then it must have been on my own repository. Moobase. Ah, here we go. This has a URL because you can just deploy or show things on in GitHub. So Moobase Commander is a way to. I'm clicking these buttons, and then if you raise the force and then you launch, you'll shoot another one of these bases. And then from there, the other player should also be trying to do the same thing. And then normally the idea is that you shoot bases towards each other and then you fire on one another, but we haven't implemented that stuff. But this is the game that we did in Elm, so it was fun. Fun while it lasted. I think we might even, yeah. We also implemented controlling the angle with your arrow keys. Yeah, it was just an exercise in learning to try and do this in Elm. So it was more of a learning experience rather than an actual thing. Chat on Gitter. Oh my god, we wrote some stuff. Ah, why Elm? So I guess we'll make that question in a why Elm over any other front-end framework. So I really believe that strong typing helps developers be faster. So Elm is really just front-end technology, yeah? It's you compare it to React or Vue or anything else that runs in the browser. And yeah, the power behind Elm is that it's very type-safe. I can't actually show this now, which is really fun. So maybe I'm gonna try and start up VS Code to show you. I guess I'll need to install oh my god. Okay, I was worried for a moment there. I thought I didn't have any VS Code on my machine anymore. But so Elm helps you make type-safe code so that you can work on that stuff faster. You'll get faster feedback because your compiler is faster, is what I'm trying to say. This fucking flying, goddammit. Okay. Let's put that stuff here. And then maybe open. Let's open. I think it's personal scrambled egg. And then the UI. Open this folder. I was gonna say because Kotlin does not run on the browser, so why not use Kotlin with Spring Boot? I am using Kotlin with Spring Boot, but it's not to write front ends with. I don't know what this is. Yes, I trust the authors because it's me. Let's check if I have an Elm compiler. Yeah, So indeed, you do have Kotlin JS or Kotlin multi-platform, but I've never tried that before. I have tried Elm, and it's like the next thing I want to try, and basically is Kotlin JS or Kotlin multi-platform. It's exactly that, in fact. But when I chose the technology for this project, I wanted to do it in Elm. Maybe I can how do you say it? I can convert the stuff that I have into a Kotlin JS project maybe, but yeah. But if you want to do Kotlin, what's KMM? Kotlin is Kotlin multi-platform, no? I didn't know you had to need Apple stuff for that. Ah, for mobile, okay. Yeah. All right, let's see what we have now. So if I open this one, Jesus Christ. This plugin is deprecated. Oh my god, dude. Okay, I guess I need to install another plugin. Get rid of this one. Elm tooling. Oh, I see. Yeah. You need a Mac to run on iPhone. That's true. Yeah. Continue. Try the new Kotlin native memory manager develop. I have no opinion about it because I don't know what it is, in fact. So as soon as this stuff works, I have Elm test. I have Elm format for sure. Elm review, no idea what that is. Format on save. It's basically has all of the same things that I needed. Cool. Open it. This one. This is very recent. The development preview of the new memory management. Blah, blah, blah. Ooh. Yeah, that sounds amazing, eh? Right, so this is giving also future benefits to using Kotlin, like more Kotlin standardized tools, let's say. For example, Ktor for the web server and then coroutines for asynchronous programming. Yeah, that sounds amazing. Yeah. I actually never done mobile development before. So it's kind of weird because I'm mainly a Java backend developer, let's say, and I'm mostly interested in using Kotlin for that purpose, just because you can be much more expressive. Ah, yeah, for the client part, yeah, that's also true. Yeah, I always forget that you also have Ktor for that. Yeah, great news. I mean, but I wonder if like Apple developers or like iPhone mobile developers are gonna switch over to Kotlin multi-platform mobile now because of this. Not sure. They will know Swift or something like that probably. Ah, voila! Look, so nice. Oh, you can see that it's exposed and stuff. And look up references. Oh my god, this is great. Holy crap. Good evening, Huguette. I was forced to use a new IDE. Well, actually, Visual Studio Code IDE to start coding in Elm again because I upgraded my IntelliJ. And it doesn't have any support for Elm anymore. So we need to look at this sad no color, no highlights Elm files. So yeah, no. We just finished installing that. You can write Java code then, convert it to Kotlin. Yeah, well, I don't ever want to do that. It's not that great of an idea. Kotlin is probably going to be a very valid option because it supports all platforms like Flutter and Dart. And Xamarin is nice, but I hated it when I tried it, so I don't know. Yeah, from what I remember of Xamarin is that it's XML. Yeah, and I don't want to write XML ever again. Yeah, indeed it is. But yeah, just write Kotlin instead from the get-go. This is true. It's a great way to learn about Kotlin. In fact, just write some Java and then you do that conversion and you're ready to go. All right, so what were we trying to do? Yeah, so here in the challenge page, so let's open that thing up. Challenge.elm. There should be a thing to challenge button clicked. Where is it? I think it's here maybe. Ooh, it doesn't do anything. Okay, yeah, so we do not have a call yet. Okay, then what I wanted to show was the view. So over here, you've got a challenge button. I don't know why this is a problem. Ah, okay. Yeah, I don't really want to add a type annotation there, but I want to see where this part is used over here. And somewhere up here, like higher, this is view challenge mode. View, actually it should just be on the model. So let's go there. Oh, damn. I don't know how to... Okay, so if you hover over it, we already get what we wanted to see. So there's an appointment and a comment that we wanted to add. And that's not ready yet in our endpoint in here. So let's first change our scenario test so that it also includes the comment and what was the appointment or something like. Maybe appointment is a bad name for that. Well, we can always change it. So at least we need to have a challenger and an opponent as two properties of that JSON. And then I also want, let's do it like this. So a comment, which is just a string maybe, should be okay. And then we also want appointment suggestion or something, I don't know, which can also just be a string. So now that we've added these, let's see what breaks, I guess, by compiling. Because they do not have any defaults, and I also don't want them to be blank, I guess. So maybe, yeah, I don't think I want them to be blank. Great. So we already get, there's an error in the challenging steps over here, which is the one client that we have. So let's maybe just add something like a comment, or I don't know. We can do whatever really. Some comment and then an appointment, which should more or less look like next Wednesday at 8 or something, I don't know. Voila. So both of these are valid now. So if I run my challenge scenario, it's still gonna work. So what I want to do next, I think, is to try... How do I want to verify that this in fact works, or that those comments and appointment suggestion are taken into account when running these scenario tests? So I want my scenario test to fail for this. We could check on the event, but is it something I want to verify on the event itself? Yeah, it's either there or I already have a JDBI connection, which I only use to wipe database stuff. So maybe I can just also reuse it to get something out of the database. So let's do it like that. So after all of this stuff has been executed, well, actually this was the most important one. Then I want to check, do a query or a select or something. Oh, open and then execute, I guess. Select comment appointment suggestion from challenges, which we don't have yet. So let's do that. Well, actually, let's use the triple quotes for that, because the weird, because then I can just write this stuff on multiple statements or multiple lines from challenges where, and now we need some IDs, I guess. And I already forgot. Challenger ID and opponent ID. Challenger ID equals scallop player ID. I don't remember. It's a UUID. Maybe the toString will just work. And opponent ID equals RGM 3 player ID. Voila. And then this should return some results. 2 strings, in fact. I don't know. Oh snap, Newbicorn is asking for some comments. I can tell you I've learned Java by using Kotlin. Ah, holy. Yet Kotlin was designed to make the transition for Java developers much easier. Yeah, it's the other way around. You should be moving from Java to Kotlin, not the other way around. And you ask for opinions. You're going to make an economy bot, which means people can get money or points and use them for stuff. I have no idea what though. Unless you have a bot idea, I could use a command anything goes. So it's I hope it's fake points or like fake money, like a fake currency bot or something. I've got no great idea about it, but it sounds really complex, all of that stuff. I think it's important that you, I don't know, be able to replay those transactions or something. Well, what would you buy with those fake points with your bot? Damn, I need like a coaster. Oh, here we go. Voila. Ah, it is. Yeah. Something that you want to trade for bot brownie points. I don't know. I have no idea. Maybe like exchange bits or something for emojis. That's the one thing that Twitch uses or something. You can work for money, use it to buy stuff, and you need more commands. I guess it's work for money is income, and used to buy stuff is expenditures. So maybe you should also have like a save command or something, like where you get an interest rate, or loan money could be one. Where you incur debt. Maybe that you don't want to have a bot that does that, you know. It sounds horrible. What does this thing return? I think we can tell it what to return, in fact. Oh, it's I don't want it to return that. So maybe... Ooh, maybe we can even include the challenge DAO and then just automatically. I don't know if we can do that. Let's check it out. Can we have a private late in it? Challenge DAO. It did suggest that, so probably we can. No, auto wire this one. Bah! Look who's there. What's up, Vincent? We're drinking beer, writing Kotlin. Life is good. There we go. Now it says get by ID. Now let's do find challenge or something. And then we'll just pass scallop player ID and RGM player ID, and then this is probably going to be returning us a list of challenges. So not this one, but I forget what it was called again. Challenge. Dang it. It was not this. Let's see. A queryable challenge, that's it. So, list of queryable challenges. Something like that. Voila. And then once we have these, it should look like that. So I'm just gonna move that over to my DAO at some point. But then once we have these, then I can check, give me just, I don't know, the, oh no, how am I going to make sure that I get the most recent one, because there are no timestamps in there or whatsoever. And last, I have no idea. Oh, I can actually do last. Oh, nice. So when we do this, we should get a queryable challenge, and then this one. So we can do assert that blah is equal to, and then a queryable challenge. Do we want to do that? Because then we have to create one, huh? And I don't know the challenge ID because I don't care about it. So maybe I don't want to do just that, but then let's try this instead. So let's do last on it. Then we'll get this. I think it's like this thing. And we'll do challenge. Yeah, and those fields are not there yet. So comment to challenge dot appointment suggestion is equal to, and then we can just do, I don't remember, we wrote it somewhere, did we? No, I haven't done that yet. Well, it should be put in here. So both of these will need to pass through via a, let's call it comment. And this one too via parameters to that challenge player step. Appointment suggestion. Oops, suggestions it's now called. Let's just do that. Then we've got both of them here, and yeah, I think we can just create them into a val. It should be outside of that thing. Comment, and then let's just call this suggestion. And then we can just do comment to suggestion, and we compare both of these at the same time. All right, so let's generate this method. I want it first to be in here, because then I can just check it on the database before I add it into my this was the challenger ID. I guess it should be a player ID. I don't really use it here, I don't think. And this is the opponent ID, which should also be a player ID, and then it should return a list of queryable challenges. that thing. Oh, it's in the, yeah, I guess it should be okay. Import. And let's just add a SQL query to that thing, which we sort of already had. Oops. What's the question again? The question I think was, oh, maybe I don't want to do that. So last seems to just return the last one, which is a bit weird, because what if, okay, I was just gonna say, what if there's no element? Then you get no such element exception. So maybe we just want last or null or something. Yeah. Yeah. And then we can just get rid of that. That does mean we'll need to add question marks to these things. And then we need to add comment and appointment suggestion as fields to the return type of that one. Dang it! I want to get the last challenge. So basically it's this. So really what we're trying to set up in our test is that first we want to register 2 players, and then schlep is gonna challenge the other player and add a comment and a suggestion mimicking this basically. So if I add next Wednesday at 8, and then this is a comment, I click on challenge, then I am challenging scallop in fact for a dual. Oh, dual, we're missing that information as well. Yeah, why don't you store the date? Because it's not important to me. I don't really care when a challenge was created. I just care that there is one. But maybe, like, how do you say that? I don't think the date a challenge was created is going to be interested, but I don't know yet. For now, it would be interesting to have in our tests, but I just want, of this list of challenges that I could find for both this combination, I want that one to be the last one, at least. So hopefully when I do a query and I have inserted multiple challenges, it will take the most recent one basically, but I'm not really sure that JDBI works that way. Because what are we going to do there? I've got something in my buffer, I forgot what. Oh yeah. Yeah, so now we need to extend this with 2 fields. One, which would be the comment, which is a string. And then this, which would also be a string. And I guess that's fine. Use Mongo and I have 0 regrets. Yeah. That's good. Yeah, I guess it does make your life too easy until the moment you have to shuffle around relations and stuff like that. Because then you'll have to do a nasty database migration. You can't just shuffle relations around then anymore. Okay, so where ID, that's not at all what I wanted to do. So I want challenger ID to be equal to challenger ID. Oh, and this time I'm not gonna forget. Oh shit, let's write and opponent ID. Opponent ID equals opponent ID. And then what we'll do is we need to bind those 2 fields like so. So we'll bind challenger ID to that text field or that text thing. Not what I wanted to copy paste there. Voila. I think that's it. Not really sure. Oh yeah, I think I'm not. Let's do this. Let's return star. I'm not sure if that's gonna work, but we'll find out soon. Oh, tired as fuck. Nighty night, newbiecorn. Ah yeah, if you just do push and read again, it's fine. Thanks for hanging out. Okay, so curious to understand or to see whether this is gonna work if I just don't specify fields like I did there. Because somehow JDBI understand that it wants to map ID, challenger ID, and opponent ID to this queryable challenge thing, which might have stopped working now, in fact. So maybe I'll just add some defaults here to just not make it break. So even if you don't pass these, then at least we're getting some defaults and not failures. Right, I think that's about it what we need. So going back here, now we do have a comment and an appointment suggestion. I think this is it. We don't have, oh, that's right. So there is a thing I still haven't set up yet, which is a flyway or like automated database migrations. And I already forgot where I put that stuff. I think it should be somewhere in here, probably. Oh yeah, voila. The to construct basically creates a pair. So this is a shorthand for a pair. So I could have also have written this. I'm not sure which one is easier to read. I guess it would be if I could map this to the pair, then maybe that'll be comment to challenge. Why is lab not working? That's interesting. Let's explicitly make it a queryable challenge then. Oh dang. You can't even type that? I guess you could, but then... Yeah, no, maybe it should be there. I always forget. Allez, this is very strange, huh? It's sort of like a map constructor, yeah. So what I could do is first map it to a pair and then have that pair be null. But I could also write it like this and then... I'm not sure if this works in fact, because then you would be pairing null to null probably. So it might be better to not do that. I could also just let it fail. That might be even easier. But then still, I just want to do this, like map. Okay, that works. Then I can just verify that it's equal to that. That's okay, yeah. A little bit better. Right, then this is the SQL that I wanted to write, but I think I already wrote that, no? Let's check that out again. I think I did, huh? Yeah, okay. Cool. So this is the possible challenge. I mean, it's gonna have to be created because this ended up creating it. And then we can verify that the comment and the suggestion are in fact saved. And now probably what we want to do is randomize this at some point. No, it's already okay. Right, so what I was showing you before is that there is already a way to create tables, let's say, and I've written them as if they're being automatically executed, but they're not at all, in fact. So let's change the dialect to Postgres because that's the database I'm using. Postgres. Okay. Comment. Varchar probably. Yeah. I guess we want it to not be null. Then at least you always need to enter that thing. And then the other one was appointment suggestion, which is also this. And now I'm gonna drop the challenges table completely. And then recreate it using that statement over here. And then that's my database migration tool. Voila. Okay, let's wait until the introspection is done. There we go. I have no idea what the default size of those things is, so that's gonna be a fun surprise. Let's just run this test and see what happens then. So now everything should be okay to run it. I changed the data type of my ORM basically. That's the queryable challenge thing. I changed the type of the JSON that's being sent. It's not doing anything now, so it should fail for sure, but it should fail for the right reason. And this thing should actually find something, but the comment and the suggestion should both be empty, like an empty string. Oh wait, I did add not null. I just realized now they're not null, so it's gonna fail when I try to create a challenge. Am I right? Yeah, not null constraints, so let's make them nullable for now. At least that works, and it's quite cool. Let's go back to the SQL. Let's drop these not null things. Let's run this again. There we go. Let's run this test again. By the way, if you ever wonder how this magic happens when I just say I'm running this now, it's just because I explain it. I yell it into my mic, and then it just happens. Make this test fail. Pay attention. Yeah, not bad, this Grimberry. Huh? It's better than regular Grimberry, I think. Tastes a bit like what is it, like Omer or something? Well, voila, blank blank to equal to this thing. Nice. We've got a failing test. It's failing for the right reason, at least that we notice. So now let's make it work. So we've got a big end-to-end integration test, which is the style of test that I'm trying out in this project as well. So we have little to no unit tests, let's say. So we found one now. We could have at least verified that we found one. Otherwise it would have exploded with some other reason. So we found one, so that's good. A challenge that is, but it's just not being stored properly, and just because we are initializing it with that. Okay, so let's move to the challenge controller, which is the one that's taking this challenge request. This is the thing. Then we're mapping that to a challenge player command. So this challenge, let's actually do command. And then I think you can say Alt enter this thing. Why not unit testing this project? All right, so this is a very philosophical question. And I might need to use a helpline for that. What was that article thing called again? So I bet you've heard about the test pyramid before, but there's this thing called the test trophy. Maybe it's this thing. Yeah, voila. So this is a very fancy looking trophy, honestly. Yeah, it still has more unit tests than I would like. This is a better shape. So instead of a pyramid where you have little end-to-end tests which take a long time, you've got normally you then have more integration tests than the end-to-end tests, and then you have more unit tests than your integration tests. But the thing is, if you're going to be writing these, then typically you will fall into the trap of having mochitis, which is a disease where you tightly couple your production code to your test code, or the other way around, in fact. So whenever you have to then change your production code, if you want to refactor it or whatever, you also always have to change your unit tests. And it's not great of a style, let's say, of unit testing. And in the past, that kind of style was more popular, I guess, because you could design your code that way, but then people would just leave those tests there, and instead you should just be throwing them away and have them be covered by integration tests, which actually cover a bunch of units in chain. So instead, now integration testing has become quite fast as well to run. So I've only been running scenario tests now, and they run quite fast. Not really that super fast, but they run quite fast. So I wanted to make sure, actually more end-to-end tests than integration tests, in fact. But I wanted to write more of these. So it's like some sort of extreme that I'm testing out now on this hobby project because it's safe to fail. And I wanted to find out how it feels to be doing that. And I've actually already run into like an annoying thing because this is just a controller, and when something is wrong in this challenge request, okay, somebody has created a bad JSON or something, but Jackson is gonna cover that. I don't have to worry about that. Then the other thing is that I could unit test this, but whatever. I don't really want to unit test forming a correct location URI. I mean, this is really not prone to a lot of change, right? But then here comes the nicest bit, and that's when you execute the command. So I'm going to transform this challenge request, which is what it is. It's just a request to challenge it. I'm going to transform it into a command saying challenge player. And now I want to use the contents of this challenge request to set up a command that does the same thing. Do extension, that's what I wanted. Yeah, but not on the controller, you dumbass. So I want it to look like that. Then I can get rid of this thing and then just use this instead. Voila. And now we'll need to flip this around as well. Voila. So now I want to update my challenge player command to also use this.comment and this.appointment. And then generate both of these because I really want to have my command include those parameters. So these are good. I don't want like default values for that, I don't think, which it hasn't in fact done. So that's good as well. And then this is just a definition of what this challenge player command should look like. And now we just need to find whichever handler handles this challenge player command. So that's this one. And it first is gonna try to look for the challenger, then the opponent, and then you challenge this opponent. And then here, instead of just having this, maybe what I can do is to have this thing return I would say like a challenge in building or something, a challenge builder, and then append both of those fields from the command onto that thing. Or what I could do is just include a comment, so comment and appointment, do that same method, because I want them to be persisted on the challenge at least. And we can create one like that. So now I just need to propagate all of those changes down the line, which is like the downside of really splitting up all of those concepts. You have to duplicate a lot of stuff now. But I want comment to be equal to that comment, and I also want an appointment suggestion to be equal to that comment. And I don't think there's any actual validation to that thing, to both of these. We need a comment parameter, and we also need an appointment suggestion parameter on the challenge itself. Which we've got there, and then we just need to add them here. Yeah, honestly, I could have returned a challenge builder and have them be appended later, but I mean, we can always refactor that to some point. Yeah, let's add them to the constructor for sure. Now our actual challenge domain object also has both a comment and the appointment suggestion. We don't want to challenge ourselves. That's like domain validation here. And now we could say a comment or an appointment suggestion cannot be empty as well. And this I would unit test. We did eventually have a unit test for that, in fact. So maybe comment someday, whatever. Okay, so our challenge now has those comment and appointment suggestion things as well. What we then can do is continue trying to save that challenge, which is where we are here. Our queryable challenge already has those fields, the comment and the appointment suggestions. So now let's ask our aggregate for that information. Appointment suggestion, and then we can get rid of those defaults. Shit, that's not what I wanted to do. This is what I wanted to do. So now we're just really propagating all of those, the comment and the appointment suggestion from our JSON through our domain all the way down to our database layer, basically. And it took some time to do that, but yeah, it's fine. It's still simple stuff. And the rest is all taken care of. We just save it and it goes to that database, and that should already just do the translation. So now the one thing I wanted to fix though is that our implementation of this one here, I want to also select star, because it'll just bind to creating this kind of an object anyway. So now we just say whatever this database table contains of fields or columns should be mappable to this queryable challenge in between object, or database access object. Okay, I think that's it. So our handler is now creating a challenge using the comment and appointment suggestion from the command, saving it, and then throwing a player challenged event, of which I decided I don't need that comment and appointment suggestion information. The reason for that I can't explain. I'm just not interested in that for now, but at least now I have the option to how do you say that, to skip that stuff, to skip that information. That's a lot of changes. Let's rerun our test and then see if that fixed it. Because if it did, yeah, maybe I should have run a compile, but I guess this will also run a compile and tell me if something is not compiling anymore. But just so you know, now I have first created a test that just verifies that the comment and appointment suggestion can be saved from passing it to the controller, so to the REST API. And if this works, then I didn't need to have written all of those unit tests of the separate layers in between. And now it's failed, so we can look for what. Parameter specified as null is null. Okay, so that's probably, no, I was gonna say that's probably because of our previous test or something. So the comment and appointment suggestion are still empty, or yeah, no, they're null in fact. Okay, then I know what's going on. Yeah, so in our wipe database script, we're not deleting our challenges in fact. So let's do just that. So now to be correct, I've got this wipe databases thing also in my registration scenario. So let's just add it manually there as well, so we don't forget it for next time. Of course, this is duplication. I need to do this in a proper way, but I'm not doing it now. So yeah. It's just something that I'll do later. Ole. So I was doing this explanation that it's really fast to run these integration tests, and then we had to wait. Variable challenge in it. Do I wipe the database before or after? Not before. And here in the challenging scenario, hello. Oh yeah, that's this one. I also do it before each, so let's see if we query this thing again. Okay, so this looks like it's a newly created one. Just to make sure, I'll manually delete it, rerun the tests. So now I'm really sure, positively sure, that there are no challenges with anything in between. So let's look at what could go wrong already. Let's go back to our controller thing. So we are setting the comment and the appointment suggestion onto the command, and that failed again. Then in our challenge player handler, we're pulling them off of the command and handler, getting them off of the command. Yeah. Adding them onto the, or passing them to this method. And here, might be something wrong with that. No, there's nothing wrong with that either. We're passing them to create challenge, which should create a challenge with both of those parameters. We have them as values in this class. There's nothing special about that at all. I think I know where it is. Yeah, I think I know where it is. So then we'll say to the repository, save this challenge. Here now I don't know where it is. So I pass the challenge, or to the comment and the appointment suggestion, to a queryable challenge itself, and I'm just saying save this thing. I think I know now where it is. Then we basically say call store on challenges, which we have in a DAO. And here I'm saying insert into challenges just the ID, the challenger ID, and the opponent ID, and nothing else basically. Probably not what we wanted. So yeah, let's add the comment and appointment suggestion. Thank you for the autocomplete there, IntelliJ. And then we'll just bind that to this and appointment suggestion. Huzzah for duplication, indeed. It's not always bad, huh? Now I want to know, could I have avoided this somehow? I guess if I were to, or if I would have written unit tests, then I would have probably looked at those layers in its own light and then remembered, like, let's write a unit test or an integration test to check that we can still save a challenge with those two fields. But then I would have ended up in the same, yeah, and indeed the test did catch it, and now the test is succeeding. So we've written a single scenario test, and I think that's quite important to mention. The rest of the test is also still working. So we just added something extra, and then we also still challenge or checking that the event is still created. The leaderboard was rehydrated, and the ranking is also still unaffected by all of that stuff. So by just running a single integration test. We've went through all of the layers, but also asserted none of, that there weren't any other side effects, basically. Yeah, so that's a very good remark. I did have to work through some code, but it wouldn't have been faster or more maintainable if I would have other tests that did cover that part. I think the one thing it might do though is it might be a little bit more manageable in someone's head that is newer to writing code or newer to this project, for example. But I think this is still okay to understand. Like, if you know Kotlin, I guess. But I think this, like, the best return on investment is these kind of tests, I think. If I add some more abstractions, then for example, I could extract this into some kind of assertion that is better suited to check that there's a challenge for these players that has this comment and appointment suggestion. It makes it a little bit readable, that's it. Yeah, and you do need some knowledge of the architectural style because of that, and so CQRS you need to know a bit about, and you need to know a bit about clean architecture. Mongo could also have helped you. In what way is that? In any case, I would have had an abstraction for that. So the other funny thing now is that I've got production code, find challenge, that I'm not using in anything else other than my unit test though, or my integration test. So that's like I don't know how I feel about that. I guess I'm just expecting this to be helpful at some point, but I'm not really sure if that's the case. Because when am I ever gonna do find challenge for two opponents, or like two players, and then get all of their challenges? It seems a bit weird. But let's commit this part, because now we've got how do you say that? It's a good commit message. So what we did here was we expanded the challenge endpoint to also include a comment and appointment suggestion. There we go. And these are all the files that we touched. Actually, this I don't want to change yet. So let's not include that. That will just be confusing. Okay, let's first add this and then maybe expand a bit the domain test. So that's some point I wanted to include in the same breath, let's say, as the testing pyramid or testing trophy, basically. So let's do commit. I'm gonna push this stuff for show. So we did encounter one test in our domain that verified that we cannot create a challenge to yourself. So maybe now what we can also create is a test that says cannot create a challenge without a comment or appointment suggestion. So now we don't need the snake case anymore. And this is a test that I want to verify on the domain, in fact. So I also want to do this stuff. And then these can just be any. I don't care about what kind of IDs for opponents that we have, but these should be either blank, null, Kotlin will complain because it's not compiling, But there are many other things. I can add a space, I can add a tab, I can add a new line, etc, etc, etc. And then the same deal goes for appointment suggestion. So this I actually want to make a little bit smarter eventually, but not now. But still the same thing goes. So I want to not change this factory method basically. I still want to have some strings here. But so same things apply. Just a space, nothing, or like the new line stuff, or just a tabs. I don't want that to break. I don't want you to be able to enter that into the create challenge thing. So let's create a parameterized test, which we might not have. Oh, we do. Okay. Then we'll pass along a comment, which is a string, and an appointment suggestion, which is also a string. And then we'll use those instead of those hard-coded string values. And then we will add some value sources. I'm not sure if you can actually do that. Maybe what I'll do is I'll write two tests, one for comment and one for suggestion. It's gonna be a little bit more fun. So here, let's do blah, blah, blah. And then this just becomes comment, I guess. And here, this will be just like that. And then we'll just generate strings, I think. Yeah, strings. And then we need an array of space, empty, tab. What was the other thing I said? Oh, I forgot. New line. Oops. Actual tab. Thank you, Amar. See you soon. Thanks for hanging out. We forgot the regular empty string. I guess having a comma also doesn't make a lot of sense in there, but for now this can just work. I mean, if you add a comma to a comment, then how do you say that you as a user are gonna find out that you're challenging, the player you're challenging is not gonna accept your challenge. That's gonna be the thing that's gonna help you out there. All right, so if I run both of these tests, I wonder if it just works or if I still need to include some stuff to run parameterized tests. Voila. All of these are failing. Why? Because they're not throwing exceptions. Cool. So let's do just that. So maybe instead of just passing a okay, first things first. First thing is validate challenging yourself, but then also validate useful string, maybe comment and appointment, and then we can just create this function. Let's call it S or whatever. And now we can just check first as a regular expression, I guess. Because we do not need to check for null because that's Kotlin's department, let's say. It's embedded into the type. Maybe there's already something like that. is blank or something. Oh. Is empty or consists solely of white space characters? Is empty. Okay, so let's check for this one. So if is blank, then throw not valid. You cannot challenge with yeah, not a useful comment or appointment suggestion without a useful. Aha. Okay, let's run the test again. So even though this is okay, now I only now noticed IntelliJ is running them via Maven and not via what's it called? IntelliJ itself. Oh, okay. So apparently we also validated the message. I didn't check that. You know, as my pair, you guys should check that, huh? So indeed, these are not the exception messages I was expecting, but those were. Now it should be green. Yay! Okay, cool. So we've just put this in our domain. We've tested it. And now, because we just put it in our domain, any client that's ever trying to create a challenge via this way, the moment it will hit my domain, it will never work. So I am only going to do that kind of validation in my domain. I could throw it earlier, but why? Why would I? I'm throwing not valid exceptions, and these are, well, actually, all of the domain runtime exceptions, I think, are being handled in my custom exception handler, who understands how to transform them into a bad request. So, but the thing I have not set up yet is like actual proper error handling, because now I'm just sending that as a regular old string back to my clients. You might need like proper JSON there so that we can extract a message and like a level of how would you say that, like severity, for example. But I do not need that now. Let's add that as a commit as well. So again, I don't want to include home.elm for that. Added extra validation on comment and appointment suggestion. Really what I did was made sure that you can only enter useful stuff in there. Actually, I pushed this, but I should have in fact run my scenario for that. I mean, I know that I'm entering some valid stuff here, so that should be okay. Now, I always say like this stuff, the validate useful string, I could capture that in a type, and when I would do that, then I'm pushing that validation forwards to the UI, where it's gonna fail earlier, which is always better in fact, because this is really, I'm not using two invariants of the challenge itself to check whether or not this comment or appointment suggestion is useful. So what I could do is go like this, useful string, make this also a useful string, and then move both of these, just a single validation to the useful string. And then I would have to construct my useful string from my domain. I guess I could make it into a value object, which I think I can access in my controller. I'm not really sure. I probably should be able to do that because here I do have access to player ID, and player ID is something that lives in Core API. So I guess I could do that. And I think I'm gonna, because it's quite easy to do that. Here we have type aliases. Yeah. Dang. It's gonna help me quite a lot if I move that to a useful string and then start using that all over the place. Maybe that's like a refactoring I can do later, because I sort of want to continue a bit with the rest of the challenge things. So what I'm going to do is I'm gonna add a refactor step, maybe. Let's add a new one saying introduce useful string wrapper actually value object that checks for non-empty strings, and use it everywhere. So that's something I want to do. Let me tag it with or color coded, I guess. I think the red things are bugs, so maybe this can be teal or whatever. Move it all the way to the top, because that's probably the next thing I wanted to do. Voila. That way I can still keep track of doing that as well. The next thing that I wanted to do was, so I've got a working backend now, basically. Yeah, what's going on here? Oh yeah, let's revert that. The home.elm thing, yeah, I'm still hard coding that stuff because I don't want to implement clicking on a player just yet. So our backend is ready. I could also move this to an extension function, but let's not do that just yet. Okay. Then what? Right, the UI part, because now we've validated that our backend is working. So when we click on challenge, I want the UI to compose that challenge request and send it to the backend. That's what I'm going to do next. So then an actual challenge should be created, and then we can create one via the UI. All right, so here is our view function where that stuff is already working. Ooh, I think there's one part that we have not set up in our model yet. I do have an opponent ID, but I don't think I'm setting it. So let's verify that I'm not lying. Maybe I'll... voila. I'll add that article to the thing, then you can read it at your leisure. Yes, yes. we already have a debug window here. Let's make it a little bit more readable for you folks. Here's the challenge model, which should contain an we already have the opponent ID. Okay, that's nice. And the player ID. Oh shit, that sucks. We don't have the current logged in player anywhere. So you might need to refactor that so that we just get that from the logged in player or something. We don't want to do that, because if we do that, then all of a sudden we cannot set up or have an admin set up matches. Okay, that's fair. Okay, so that's something we want to sort of make sure that works. Oh, we completely forgot about the dual. Okay, that's something we need to do next time then. The mode. I guess it also makes absolutely zero sense to challenge someone in a 2v2 when you don't really know who they're going to be playing with, who's in their team, duos. Same for Wipeout or CTF. I guess these were just there to sort of introduce those things. So at some point we need some kind of options, but for now it should be okay. We can leave them out. You can just consider that it's always going to be dual then, as a game mode, or challenge mode we called it apparently. And okay, so there is this button somewhere, huh? Is it in the detail? Oh damn. Okay, so now I'm using my IntelliJ shortcuts to navigate, and I actually don't know. Go to definition F12. Okay, is that it? Yeah, it is. Yeah, okay. How do you navigate back? Go back. Control minus. And pluses and forwards? Go forward. Control shift. Okay. Let's try those shortcuts. Okay, we've got, here's the button, which then does challenge button clicked. So challenge button clicked is defined over there, and we want to check how, okay, so it doesn't do anything because it's just returning the model and CMD none. And instead what I want to do here is I want to fire a HTTP call there. So it should look like that, like this. So let's do that. Let's call it challenge or perform challenge or something. Using the model. This does not exist yet. I don't know how to, what the shortcut for quick fix is, or to generate thing. Command dot, create local function. Okay, this needs to be model. I don't want to do anything. Okay, so what I want to do is I want to do an HTTP dot. I guess I don't want to return model, because that'll just be a bit silly. So what I want to do is I want to return model and then the result of this perform challenge thing. Okay, then HTTP post probably takes in a record type of some kind. Let's do command dot again. Dang it. Oh. Control space. But we don't get any. We don't get any. Okay. Slash API slash challenge. I don't remember if that's correct. In fact. So let's go to our challenge step, I think. Step. Nee. Okay, back to the scenario. This one. Oh, it's just straight to challenge, okay. With then this request, which has a challenger, opponent, a comment, and an appointment suggestion. So I want to have the field names or the names of the things. So now I have them all in multi-cursor. Oh shit. And I can't actually go to Elm with that stuff, of course. What happens if I paste now? Oh, okay. I believe we also have... Oh, I still remember that shortcut, lol. The multi-cursor stuff in Visual Studio Code, I was gonna say. Alright, cool. Then what? Some other stuff is missing. I guess it's the expect. And I want to do expect JSON, because that should be the return type, I'm thinking. Actually, no. There's no JSON at all. There's instead a created response with location URI of that challenge ID that we just created, which we could use in like some kind of a pop-up or whatever to point to that challenge at some point. So maybe I'll expect JSON is okay, I think. I mean, what else do we have? Expect JSON. We could do expect string with error handling instead of it then. We're not returning anything there. So that might not be ideal. Here's JSON, but then that takes a decoder, which I don't need. Okay. Yeah, I guess until further notice. Let's use that instead. Don't need it. Then this bit replaced with that. Oh, damn it. I already forgot. We haven't imported that thing yet. This just takes a function. So just the second part, it doesn't take a decoder. So we can straight up use that. So this would be got perform challenge response. And I think that should be it, in fact, no? Oh no. Expected, with the body, of course. Okay, now the body we do need to decode. Right? Yeah. Import, yep. this doesn't exist yet. So let's go there, create it. I don't remember how to duplicate lines. Oh, I do remember apparently. Oh, this is difficult. Got perform challenge response. That should not take this at all as a result. I think it's nothing. I think this should compile eventually. Yeah. The other one got perform challenge response, which has no result, I think. There should be handle. I mean, I don't want to do anything. I guess I just want to. I don't want to do anything. Let's do return model cmd.mon. This can be ignored. Okay. The shortcut was Control dash to go back. Yeah, and we were doing stuff here. And here I want, I don't remember, a body. I wonder, was there already some place that we added a post somewhere? Anywhere? Nope. Okay. A body. Okay. That looked like this. Ah, HTTP body. Nice. I guess we import. Now what? Yeah, doing it multiple times is not gonna be very helpful. Oh man. Yeah, okay. Back. I remember vaguely that it should do something. Yeah, maybe body doesn't exist then. You know what? Let's look up some documentation then. Huh? What do we have here? URL builder. That's probably not something I want to check. But we might be in the vicinity. Nope. I want Elm HTTP, I think, and then latest should be okay. Okay, look at that. Let's do post. There we go. HTTP. Okay, so then we've got like constructors probably to create JSON maybe. Empty body. HTTP dot bytes body, empty body. Isn't there like a JSON body? A JSON body. Voila. And now what? We need an encoder. And that's something that can transform a value into a body. Yeah, maybe there's some stuff here as well, probably, no? Let's do post again. Okay. that's great. This is exactly what I want. What is this value thing? Maybe there's like some way to encode. Oh, I really forget what this is. Doe me toch. JSON encode dot value. Body parts, no. It's also not something I needed. Okay, let's try to write it and then see where the compiler is gonna help us. So we needed JSON body. I think we already wrote that somewhere. Yeah. And then this requires something that has that thing like a. It's defined as having a value which would then be transformed into a body. Put some JSON value. I think we can do something like this. As challenge request or something, the model, and then this can become a function that transforms the model somehow, and there is JSON dot encode dot, yeah, and now don't know, object, don't know, model. See what happens. Ah, okay. Object expects a list of string value pairs. So what we could do probably is create a list of string value pairs. So the one could be, oh, it's still complaining apparently. How do you create a value? What is this thing? It was already there. There's something else here as value. Let's do undo. Hopefully we didn't mess up too much. Okay, it should be okay. Okay. JSON encode. Some more stuff. Or maybe there's something in JSON itself. No, okay. Never mind. Oh, there's a function called encode derp. What does that do? Varlasa. Hey, but object was returning a value. Then I don't know what. Oh, maybe it was because of the we were not creating any tuples or something. That's probably it. I guess we were just doing the right thing, but then here not doing anything. Okay, so these are the things that I want to be in there. So let's do that. Let's wrap them in braces first, then in double quotes, and then we just need some stuff, something like JSON.encode.string, and then they're all strings, and then I'll just do that. Voila. Now it seems to be compiling. I was using IntelliJ shortcuts again. And this is also wrong. I wonder why. Excuse you? No definition found for as challenge request? Well, what's this thing then? Maybe because I haven't saved yet? Oh, that's it. Okay. Yeah, and then this needs encode the type. Voila. Okay, then this stuff is wrong. This value is not a function, but it was given 3 arguments. How? Ah, okay, I understand. I forgot to add the commas. That should be better. Yeah, voilà. Format that stuff. Wait. Format. Document. Shift Option F. Yay! Okay, cool. Now I need my model. So model.challenger. That's the one we don't have. So empty string. Then we've got model.opponentID. Then a comment, we've got model.comment. And then here we've got model.appointment. Okay, so now the last thing that we need is our challenger ID. So maybe we can just fix that for now. Challenger ID, which is you, the person that's logged in. And I wonder how I am going to set that thing up. Because I don't really have a reference to quote-unquote you. And I immediately exchange the, what's the thing called again? The no you place Uno reverse card. We don't have a definition of yourself, Mr. Rat. We've got an existential crisis on our hands. And I know it's gonna fail if I just pass along blank, so that's probably not something I want to do. Casual Monday morning, yes indeed. After a great weekend, you know, asking why am I working again when I can't be having fun. And instead we've got that same thing on a Tuesday evening. Why am I live coding again when I could be having... No, this is the same thing for me, having fun. Okay, let's think just a little bit. We could skip it for now, honestly. We could just skip it for now. And maybe that's fine. It's the thing that makes the most sense, honestly, but then I have to change a bunch of stuff again in my backend. And that's a problem as well. I can... Oh, this is... Okay, now I'm starting to realize some downsides about my scenario tests or the way I wrote them. I need to think more about that. How can I get the challenger ID? It's me when I'm logged in. But I don't know how to fetch that information yet. It's also like, it's so general, you want to put that on like the main model, and then probably pass it to pages that are interested in that kind of stuff. So I might want to have the definition somehow. I don't really know, in fact. Init page with the opponent ID, but that's the stuff I can extract out of the what's it called again? The URL. Oh my god, I'm derping out here. Oh man. But even then, even if I exchange it, okay, hang on now. I seem to vaguely remember that there's some kind of an endpoint. Yeah, but it's I think it's an endpoint to get some information about a player where you have an ID. Here's a registration controller, which is just a register. That's not what I wanted. There's player controller, which just says player by ID and info. Get player by external account. Ooh. This is probably it, the thing I wanted. Okay. Which returns me a list of registered players. Why was that again a list? Because I didn't want to deal with, because I was lazy AF probably. Makes sense, sounds like me. But it returns a registered player JSON, and that has a player ID and a nickname. So I could do a fetch to /info in my challenge init thing, and then update my model with that. It sounds like a plan. Okay, let's do that. So let's do player ID, and then now stuff has stopped compiling probably. Oh yeah, of course, an empty model. Oh. I don't know, I guess I need this. This makes it compile, but there should also be an init. Is there a way to find methods or something like that where I can just call it Ctrl F probably? Init page. Oh yeah, okay, so we need a command message as an output, but maybe what we want here instead is like the batch thing. So that looks like that, batch. And now I don't know it anymore. Yeah, it just takes a list of, okay, nice. So like this. and then first I want to do an http.get to URL API. Already forgot my endpoint. My God. Info. Noise. And I expect to be having a JSON with error handling. And it's like a registered player decoder. Did I already do that somewhere? Maybe? Fetch registered players. Oh dang. Yeah, it's not called registered player. Got info should be called info response. And then here's the command to separate it into more commands. Whenever you have to ask why did I do this, the answer is usually either because I was too lazy or it didn't work the original way I wanted it to work. Yeah. Giving up or not. I sort of want this one, but why do like that? So auto format again. So there's one here probably, registered players decoder. This thing. Is there a /info thing? No, okay. Let's do across all files. Oh, it's in main. It's in main somewhere. No. Oh, it was. Oh, no. The plot thickens. So I have this thing already. How do you say that? I call it somewhere. Eh? Here I call it a perform exchange token for cookie in batch. So first I exchange it for a cookie. What the fuck? This is the actual perform. That's over here. But then what? So got the user info? What do I do with this stuff then? Where is it? Here, got this stuff. Okay, so if it was an error, I don't do anything. If it was an empty, I route to register. And if it was Gucci, I just ignore the result and route to known player home with the model. So maybe what I want to do now first is I know exactly how that only felt. Oh damn. Let's do okay result, and then instead of just passing route to known player home, but oh Jesus, okay. I don't do anything with that. That's it. Here's my route to blah blah blah. So okay, I guess I first want to update the model and then a route to it. So let's say, okay, I don't have font ligatures here. That sucks. Update. Or how do you say that? Like set self on model or something? Set current layer ID on model, something like that. And then this. Okay, we're mixing approaches now. I don't like it one bit, in fact. Model. Where's the model? Oh no, and then I have to deal with that model being possibly empty. But it is the home model that I want to update though. Which is also quite weird because then I need to pass that model's current layer or whatever back into the challenge model. Damn. Okay, so I'm gonna undo the stuff I did in main, probably. Okay, that's weird, huh? Because source control is saying that I didn't change anything to... Oh yeah, okay. I guess I didn't because I haven't changed or I haven't saved yet. So let's change and then revert all of that stuff. Yeah. Discarderino. But so, I think I can still use all of this stuff, no? Because that's the first reason why I went there anyway. So just check how I was dealing with that fetch. So I do need to pass along the token. Oh no, wait. Do I still have that token? I do, but it's on the cookie, and then I don't need to use this way any longer to do that, in fact. But then that's kind of weird, because why would I never changed it. So we do the exchange for the cookie, then we have our token as a cookie. So this really I can just replace with using a regular get now. Right? Because in my backend I am using this part to external account ref, which gets it from the security context and not from the what's it called? Not from the authorization header. Okay, cool. So this should work. Then I can just keep URL. Don't need a body. Oops. Don't need timeouts nor tracker, and then that should be good. Then I also no longer need a token anymore. Now shit's gonna break probably. Nice. I hope the batch stuff actually works that way. That it does it in sequence, but I think it might do just that in sequence. So then I could try to move this to like some generic thing, because it's just performing calls, right? And then I can probably map it to something, make it a very generic thing. But so first let's copy paste this. I think I can do that, make it generic, and then just have map the generic type to the local one, let's say, and then that should already be good enough for me. Yeah, I think that could work. Okay, I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's first just copy paste it and then refactor it later. Okay, so yeah, we'll name it exactly the same. We've copy pasted that there as well, apparently. All right, so this becomes perform fetch registered player info. Then we need the registered players decoder and the got fetch registered player info response. No. That's this thing I want to copy paste. And then this thing to move into the message type. That would be fetch player response. No, it's this one. Yeah, some stuff is wrong there. Oh yeah, and now I need to check where this is used, which is here, which looks like that. Okay. Then this function, yeah, and now instead of doing the route stuff, let's put it underneath that thing. So if it's an OK, but there's an empty list, it should actually explode. Just return the existing model, and here we want to set the model, the challenger ID to response dot player ID. So that's what the model looks like, and then Cmd.1. Oh yeah, result because I want the result that is paired with it. But apparently result is a nothing. What? Why? Thought it was this one. Oh, no, never mind. It is gonna. I think I can do that. I thought I could do that. Yeah. Okay, so I think. Oh shit! I don't know how to type that. Okay, cool. So really, what I'm saying here is, if we've got an empty list, just ignore it basically, and then here I just say if I have a result. I actually want to say this, and I have an empty list. That's the only case I want to cover, and I think the other case I want to cover. I'm not sure if you can do that. No. So for any other case, okay, then maybe let's do that. Okay, I'm gonna move this higher, and then the rest can go as defaults, let's say. Maybe I can do that, and then we've got both options. Yeah. Okay, that's a little bit better. So really what I'm saying is I only want to hit on the responses where I have a single entry in my list. So basically I'm sort of constructing a list that has a first element and then a tail of an empty list basically. And in that case, I just extract just the first result out of that list and then update my model to have the player ID of that result. And these are all the other valid cases. So that would be just an empty list, or where we have 1, 2, 3. Yeah, or like 1, 2, also 1, 2, 3, etc., etc. So it expands. These are all of the other cases, and in that case, I want to ignore. I want to ignore it basically. In fact, what I could do, because yeah, I'm actually ignoring both cases. So even if I have an actual error, like my call failed, my HTTP call failed, it's not about the response, then I'm also just ignoring that. But I just still want to, how do you say that, make explicit that there's two cases here that I want to cover. Okay, so we've got the got fetched register player info response ready. We're setting or updating the model. We're updating the challenger ID with that player ID, and that stuff is indeed compiling. Don't know why this thing has changed. Let's save it. Hello? Don't know what did I change here? Ah yeah, I got rid of the token parameter there, and I made this simpler. Okay, what did I change here in home? Oh yeah, just updated ID of a player that's actually in the database. And this we're just working on right now, which was not yet compiling because the fudge. So apparently my registered player local model does not have a player ID. Yeah, it probably doesn't. Let's look at this thing. It does have a player ID, so it should in fact have it. So then that means my registered player type. Where is it? This thing. Huh? That's very strange, I would say, because they both get decoded. Ah, here. Okay, that's annoying. I want to refactor that probably. So I'm building a registered player, but the name is a bit different. So let's see. Oh shit. Let's do rename. No, not git rename. Rename symbol F2 probably. Player ID. Oh shit, I should have shift entered that. I guess it's fine. It's compiling. Alright, since it's compiling and I've got live reload on, my Elm application should be working. Okay, I'm no longer logged in. Let's log in again using Mr. Rat's super safe credentials. I think, okay, let's first wipe the session ID and the crumble, then refresh, then log in again. Now we've got a new one. Mayung. We're getting an unauthorized. The exchange happens though. Okay, let's wipe it, I guess. Do a refresh. Okay, so I can't really explain what happened there. Anyway, so if I click on dummy challenge, so I'm Mr. Rat now. Oh. Grr. Is that because my database got wiped because I'm running scenario tests? And then my... I guess that's why. Oof. Mr. Rat isn't even known as a player, so something is wrong. it would be weird that because I changed this, that I don't get a player thing anymore. But okay. So I do perform this and then get the player info out of that stuff, and we do the got fetch register player thing to check that, and then this gets transformed into this bit, and that then didn't do anything with that information anyway. So this we can ignore, I think. Maybe the endpoint is just broken and was never working. No, I don't know. Okay, let's just try to replace this again with the where was that again? F11, not here. Then it's in main. Voila. Paste, save, hard refresh. Oh no, it's still the same dummy challenge. Let's fill some stuff in. Next Wednesday at 8. Snarf, snarf. Challenge. Explosions. Bad requests. Bad requests. What happened? Oh, yeah, we didn't restart our application. Very smart. No, it was Challenger that was not filled in, apparently. Something else then. So we do have player ID, which gets transformed there. And Challenger ID should be filled in. No? Because we were updating it the moment you get a fetch registered player info response, and this you should get when you initialize the page. And I guess all of that stuff we can verify if we look at the debug stuff. Let's first wait until this thing is done. So, alright, SQ. These IDs remain the same, so I can hard refresh. Yeah, nice. Now let's look at Challenger ID, which should be filled in. Godverdomme. Oh! No, wait. Yeah, okay, I think I've got a clue. Let's look at this thing. Because I'm not sure if the live reload is being triggered anymore. So let's open, I forget, it's challenge.elm. This one? Change something, save it. Nothing happens. Let's get rid of the loop in IntelliJ to do live reloading. Let's instead add it here. Oh, I do not remember. New terminal or something. I don't know what all of this means. Let's try this out. Yeah, that's actually what I wanted. Hopefully it will navigate to the... Yeah, nice. npm start. Cool. Yeah, I guess we can... This got reloaded, but let's work from here. Let's do dummy challenge. Nice, nice. Info was called for sure. And first it was the player endpoint that got called, and then player info was called. Is it doing it simultaneously? Because it does look that way, yeah. Feck. Yeah, in the main page, so when you first log in, I need that to be sequential and not simultaneous. So that's probably the issue there. Okay, anyway, I've got my model. It's updated, or it should be updated now, because player info was definitely called there. So let's inspect the challenge model. It should now have a challenger ID. And it doesn't have a challenger ID for some reason. Why is that? Why? Delilah. Okay, so got fetch player response. Yeah. And we've got nickname and a player ID. And then here's the info response, which returned an empty list. That's strange. It should not be returning an empty list. So either we're getting an empty list from the actual endpoint, or it gets parsed wrong, I guess. And I thought I had that, I included that /info endpoint in my scenario test. Let's read this stuff first. Yeah, so No, I think it should be okay. So if we have, if we found players by external account ref that we get from the logged in player's context, which we should because we're sending our job token over the cookie. So doing this should return the correct one. Then we execute a query by doing that. It should return a result. Maybe that's the problem, that this query doesn't work or something. Would be strange. Let's see. Handler. Do we have a test for that? No, we do not. No test for the repository either. So that's the other problem. We cannot inspect what could be wrong by guessing, basically. Of course, I should be writing an extra scenario test now. Let's think. I want this one. We're getting the ID nickname, blah blah blah. ID nickname ISS and sub from registered players. And we pass along the ISS and sub to it. Whereas, no. I mean, it should just work. Okay, let's verify that it works by checking if we've got a scenario test for that. This is a challenge. Let's open the registration scenario. That one. Okay, let's see. Huh? So when you log in, they register. We do fetch player by ID. Yeah. Client fetch all players. No, this still gets, or it calls the player endpoint and not the info thing. There's one here. Fetch player by .info step. So at least there's a step that tries to do that. Yeah, we check that it's working, in fact. So that the current player, I think here's just client, but it's a client that belongs to Schlep. And we use this client to also register a player called Schelp. And we verify here that it's working, and this test is still working fine. So the endpoint from a backend perspective should be working, in fact. Because the way that this thing works, is it still working? Yeah, we didn't change the backend, huh? So this part is really just using cookies. Oh, we're still printing cookies here even. You don't want to do that anymore. So it's using the cookies, the job token on the cookie to make a call to /player/info. And then it's returning exactly that. Or null, if you couldn't find anything. Which is what we're doing in our Elm code as well. So yeah, it should work. Except it's not working. But then we can only, it has to be caused by our decoder then, huh? So here we're saying when you do your call to info, expect that there's a list of registered players coming out of there, and your list of registered players, they should all have a player ID and a nickname as a string. Where is that decoder over here? Player ID and nickname. We can actually check if we do an info, what we get on the response. It's actually an empty string, and now I am /player/info. Is it the same endpoint? It's the same endpoint. Jongen, what the hell? So let's run our scenario, this one, and debug, and just verify by debug information that it's correct. I mean, this test should explode if it's not working, in fact. This is wild. It's really wild. I don't understand. Oh no, and now I have to... Oh. So I ran my scenario test, which wipes the database, which makes me... or which forces me to update the ID again of Scallop. Okay, let's see what's in here. Oh. Chada. It's a single player that's coming out of it. What the fuck? And this just returns a list of the single player, and then we're good. Test failed. It's a timeout issue probably. What the okay, very Confucius. Here we go, console. Yeah, timeout, whatever. I mean, that's just gonna work. Then I want to do the same, so let's stop this, but rerun it and debug. Don't remember the shortcut for that. I think it's Control-Option-D. What the fuck? So rerunning our scrambled application in debug mode, which should make me end up here as well. Then I think I do have to get that new ID again. Here it is. Go back to what was it? Home or something. Yeah. Update the ID, save it. Here it's refreshing. That ID doesn't exist indeed. We will wipe that stuff. I think I might also want to Get rid of these. Log in again. For no reason, actually. Then let's go to dummy challenge. Okay, so what is our account ref here? Oh shit, this is it. Okay, I think I know what's going on. We are logged in as Mr. Rat, but because our redirect logic doesn't happen anymore, because our registered players have been wiped, Mr. Rat is no longer there. I'm actually not registered then. This information I think we get straight out of the token or something. I don't remember. But in any case, Mr. Rat is not a registered player now. See? And the reason for that is because our login, so on success of your registration thing. We don't have that over here. And that we broke after we batched those two things. Nee? Oh god. Why did it break now? Here's main Elm. We got the user info. Yeah, we're still batching it. This is it. This is the issue. So, oh god, it's very difficult stuff here. Fucking hell. Okay, so because at this point we don't yet have a token on the cookie. When we're actually making that call, remember I said hopefully we have a token on the cookie already. Well, we don't, because the batch statement executes those calls not in sequence but in parallel, basically. So at that point we don't have a token on the cookie yet when we perform this request. Yet it still works to do this call. Why is that? It should actually fail. So I'm looking for the part where I'm redirecting to registration. Wacht. So I log in. For some reason, Elm thinks I'm already registered. Why is that? Let's try to find out what happens there. So we are in main.elm. We're going into the init thing. Init. I think it's here. Here it is. So we're getting an actual token there, I think. Don't remember. So it'll be easier if we just forget what I just mentioned. Get user info. Let's try to revert that stuff maybe and see. So it cannot put back deleted stuff or what? So I expected some stuff to be able to revert this, but apparently that's not something we can do. Voila. So now we are calling the info thing again with the wait. Oh yeah, we need the token there. So, and I wanted it to be the same because then I could more easily extract it into a function. It's hard to refresh. There's no player with that ID found. For some reason. Probably because I'm not logged in anymore. Now there's no token being set anymore. Okay. Nay. I restarted my server when I just wanted to mute the breakpoints. Balls. Vale. Log in again. Voila. Voila, see. Okay, so I guess we'll just keep that for now. Then hop back in here. I think if I do dummy challenge, it should be voila. And now we should have a challenger ID. Yeah, okay. And this is the one from Mr. Rat. Okay, finally. Now we can say next Wednesday at 8. Snarf. Challenge. Voila. And we've created a challenge. And that we can verify by looking in the database. There we go. Here it is. Goed hè? And we still do the player challenge thing. Oh, which actually should update the rank. It doesn't run automatically, and the reason for that is, damn it, I remember I added some kind of endpoint for that, so maybe it's in a challenge scenario. Trigger leaderboard rehydration. Okay, /leaderboard/rehydrate. Probably in the meantime it's okay, it hasn't just yet. So if I then navigate to /API And this, I think it's going to forward that, I'm not sure. Oh, it's not. Huh. Interesting. Oh, and then no, but you don't need an authentication token for that. Let's create an HTTP request and just do, I think, was it a get? No, it's a post. Post this. Localhost 8080 /API / blah blah blah. Run it. What was the result? Forbidden. You fucker. Oh yeah, it's no longer. Wait, no, why is that? Okay, that I don't remember. Play, just run the regenerate, please. I think it's just a single minute that we need to wait, and then the regenerate will have been triggered, and then Mr. Rat will have points because they challenged Scallop. And like, I don't want to go through the hassle of getting a token so I can then perform or manually perform the rehydrate. Maybe I should just add a button somewhere in Elm to manually trigger the rehydration from the UI. I'm also thinking that if I reboot my server, I was gonna say the regenerate will happen automatically because it's the first hit. Like the moment my Spring Boot server boots, it's going to trigger the regeneration. Okay, so I think regeneration should have happened by now. Ah, there we go. With 2 players. Refresh. There we go, Mr. Rat number 1. Number 1. Okay. Congrats. Okay. So there's a very strange bit here. Some weird stuff going on with this part, I think. Why would that only work if you use a token? That I don't get. I mean, in the scenario, it's not like we're adding the token anymore. To which step was it? Dang it. And it was in the registration step part here. So when I do this, okay, I have to think a bit, because we do create a client with jot info. And we do the register stuff. Okay, let's see what happens here. We do create client. If it's not empty. Let's do the exchange cookie. So at that point you have a cookie. What the fuck? And here we just we trade basically. We set the jot info as a and then code the jot as on a bearer token, and as a result, the /session backend endpoint will do set cookie on the client, and then you've got a client that has that cookie and no longer has the you created once. So all of these really just perform calls with the jot token on the cookie. But then I guess, I think the only explanation is that because we do Cmd.batch, that those calls happen simultaneously. I think that's it. It's just because those calls happen simultaneously. And if I do it like this, where was it with the token? Perform the info part with the token. My security policy in my backend will fall back to checking if there's a token. If there's not a token on the cookie, which there won't be, then it'll fall back to finding a token on the authorization header. And with this statement, it could find it because we passed the token along. And when I refactored that to use the http.get thing, it depended on having the token on the cookie, and there wasn't any. So I think that's the explanation. So really, it's in main. When I batch both these calls over here, it shouldn't be batch, but like sequence or something. I don't know if that's a thing. You can do that in sequence. I think there's another way to do that if you use, oh man, task or something. Task. I don't know how to properly do that. I also don't know what this tracker thing is, in fact. Track request? Okay. That's not something I should be worrying about, I guess. And then maybe this task thing is also not necessarily what I wanted, because pair your HTTP request with time.now. This should be quite rare. Yeah. What's the workaround then? I guess the workaround is not using batch in my command. Where are we at? What I should do here is I do first you get the user. Is it this one? First I do exchange cookie and then got exchange cookie for cookie response. That thing, where is it? It should have like a handle somewhere. Here. So this one really should return perform exchange token for a cookie. That's it. So if I do this, how come this just works? Got exchange token for a cookie response. So first you get. So at this point we've updated the model. We don't have, but the call has been completed, and then we just chain it with this thing. Perform exchange token for cookie. Which now takes a token, but then it shouldn't take a token. I think it's weird that it's compiling, in fact. What the fuck? Perform exchange token for cookie. Oh, shit. It's not that one. It should be perform fetch registered player info. Yeah, that's it. Maar jong. Something else going wrong there. Yeah, I think now it's going bad because this here needs a token. Now it doesn't no longer. Then we can switch that to using a get. We only need the URL and the expect thing. So perform registered player. Yeah, this we also no longer need, because instead of doing it batched, it just happens as a consequence. So let's get rid of the batch thing. Oh, that's entirety. That should be it. Voila. Okay, now I need to clear. I need to log in as somebody other than Mr. Rat now. So let's go to Keycloak, which I forgot what it was. Was it 1990? Fuck. 9000? Oh, jeez. Oh, jeez. I bet it's somewhere in security. It's not. 7070 key. We will log in as Peruse, who still loves bats, and I need to wipe the session of Mr. Rat. A goodbye. And then we need to check who I already registered here. Carmel, dude, I don't remember what the... Oh, like Carmelite. I guess this is also... They also have a login with password or something. So I will log in as Caramel password. Nice. Change your password. No. Never. Oh shit. That also doesn't work. Fucking hell. So why is that? Is it because we still had... Oh, this doesn't do anything. Let's log them out again. Log out. Let's refresh. Log in as Caramel with password. Don't care about that. Oh, voila. I think it's because we still had the cookie of Mr. Rat. Oh, fucking hell. Okay, so I think now we should be good. Now we are Caramelite. Let's also challenge Scallop. Next Thursday then, I guess. I drink Caramelite all the time. Challenge. Yeah. That seemed to be okay. Okay. So Caramelite should end up there as well eventually, yeah. Okay, now so really what I wanted to verify is that after I changed it into... It's working in fact. So my main.elm thing, I had to change, where is it here? So I changed from a batch into a sequential, like an actual sequential call. So that's probably why you rarely need that, the cookie or the time information on your HTTP calls. Because batch is gonna execute them in parallel, but then if you chain them, it's so weird. I would expect batch to just chain them. In fact, I don't like... Okay, so I want to just navigate here. How do you do that? Oh, that doesn't exist yet, so maybe go to... Option F12, I need to remember that. I just want to open main.elm at that position. Is it really that much to ask? 209, allez. And honestly, what I wanted to go to is Cmd.batch. Yeah, and then do F12 on this thing. Yeah, voila. Each is handed to the runtime at the same time. And since each can perform arbitrary operations in the world, there are no ordering guarantees about the results. It even explains it in the... So is there a way to, instead of batching it, do them in sequence? Because honestly, it's just method composition, right? can you say I want to compose them? Can you do clear URL and then something like that? No, I forgot how you do that. In fact, well, yeah, that would be a cool thing to do, to be able to do, because then you can read it from here. I want to first do that and then the other. Yeah, whatever. It's working now. That was a very tricky part, and it was just working by chance because of our SpringSecurity config. It's quite lenient, let's say, in the way you send your authorization. So, in fact, if we want to protect ourselves better against that, I think I need to have two security configs or so. I want to protect two endpoints. The first one is a /API exchange session or something like that that gets a token from the authorization bearer header and then does the set cookie, and all of the other API calls that really require the job token to be in a cookie, because now it's still accepting forged job tokens, I guess, in the authorization header. Yeah, okay. So basically UI is now sending post calls to /challenge basically. With comment and appointment. That's it. So I think I will probably forget about it's a format, and damn it. I will probably forget about refactoring that register player stuff. Set appointment. Oh yeah, that we needed to just update the regular stuff. I don't even know when I use empty model, in fact. It was a challenge. Empty model. Seems to be using it. Yeah. Yeah, that's that part where I did last time, where really challenge can never actually have an empty model, because the init page will be called, but because we have got a route here, and once you have a route, you shouldn't need to use empty model with key. You should immediately use this part. Well, it's for another time, I think. No, I'm sure. Okay, more stuff we did. This one is important. We added perform challenge when you click on the challenge button. And then a whole bunch of code to deal with that just effect, like when you click on the button, stuff happens, and then also to get the player info from yourself, basically, when you enter that page, the challenge page, that is. This is just a rename so that our registered player type in Elm is more aligned with the JSON that we're being returned, basically. That refactor went pretty well in Visual Studio Code, I thought. Here we also improved that fetch and we didn't apply it back into, where was it, in main.elm or something? Honestly, I should have done the refactoring to extract it into a one place last time. Well, now it's already quite late, so let's just commit this and then add a to-do somewhere, maybe. That was a nice cleanup, this. Also, now we can actually extract it into, or refactor it properly, I think. Nice. Got rid of this.cookies output, and then that's it. Okay, nice. So this, I don't think I want to commit that along with it. So here, that's it really. With comments, with current player's ID in challenger ID, the entered and the entered comment and appointment fields. Okay. Then I'm also gonna commit that registration step thing. This is just cleanup. So what's that? Fire, I guess. Got rid of unnecessary cookie printouts, printlns. Okay. All right, push it, and that's that. Cool. Very tricky stuff. How am I going to make sure that I want to do that refactor with the to-do stuff? Maybe here. I guess next time will be mostly refactoring. We didn't even have the UI UI form. Actually, so this is almost done. The only thing that's left here is incorporate challenge mode into challenge. Yeah, that's it actually. Just do this. That's the only thing that's left there. Okay. Introduce useful value string. That's the one refactoring, and I think the other one, let's add that to extract. Oh. Got fetch a registered player info response into, well, actually no. Remove duplication of voila. That should be clear enough. Okay. Yeah, I guess I could wait with doing this after I finish this complete thing. Yeah, I could do that. There and protect blah blah. Yeah. I don't think I ever did that. Align cookie max age blah blah blah. More security stuff. I guess there's a one thing where I wanted to say something like only actually protect / session with only authorization header and other / API with only shot on cookie. Security improvement. It's like this is a quite important one, so let's move it up. All right. Yeah, we were really lucky there that we understood what was happening. Yeah. All right. Cool. I was happy with tonight's progress. Learned quite a lot again. Nice. All right. I hope you enjoyed it as well. And then I will see you. Was it next week already? Let's check. Double check. Oh yeah, cool. So the 7th I'll be streaming, but then the 14th will be the first real life Lean Coffee Leuven probably. And the week after I might be in Isegem to help someone kick off a Lean Coffee over there. So if you live in either of those places in Belgium, come say hi. Yeah. Alrighty. That's it for me. Have a good night. I know I will. And then I will see you all next week. Until then, deuces. See you. Bye.